One of my favorite times to take photos is right when the sun comes up. Everything is fresh and new, and the low angle of the sun gives everything around this incredible glow. It's really different than taking photos at, say, high noon or most other times of the day. If you've never tried it, strongly recommend it. And if you're kind of stuck in a photographic rut and you're thinking, I don't really know what to do to stretch myself to really try something new, I recommend just getting up before the sun and having your camera ready as the sun comes up. But one thing that I haven't really tried until recently, maybe because the timing just doesn't quite work out, but one thing I haven't really tried too much is taking photos before the sun comes up. I've often taken photos in the morning as the sun is cresting the horizon, and I've gotten plenty of sunrise photos and photos of the phenomenon I just described, where it's earlier in the day and things are all fresh and new. One thing I've hardly ever tried until just recently, which you may have noticed here, is taking photos before the sun is up. Because why would you? There's no light, unless there is. And that's what you're seeing here. Recently, I put up a photo called The Chalice, which was I believe a coleus plant that I shot kind of like this. It was before the sun came up, and turns out there was light from the building behind it, and then light in the distance from the street lights at the parking lot across the street. And then I saw this scene here. This is a magnolia tree 100 yards from my building at work. And on this particular morning, I got to campus before the sun was up and had my camera. I was just looking around for photo opportunities, and I saw this single magnolia flower. And it looks like a purple candle, which is why I've called it the candle. And there was something unique about this that I hadn't ever really photographed before. The flower is being lit from the side artificially, and there's lights in the building, but there's also the lights way in the distance. There's something on the ground that's kind of glowing. So there's all these different light sources coming together, and the light source way in the distance, which is the sun not yet over the horizon. You see how the sky is that light blue? That's not photoshopped. This is how it was. This is not AI. Although I did use AI denoise in Lightroom. I think the original was shot at ISO 6400 because there just wasn't much light. AI denoise cleans that up marvelously. Other than that, I don't even think I cropped it. I could go back and check. Maybe, if anything, it was just like a tiny bit, like maybe 5% or something. But what you see here is the scene I saw, and it was so cool. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to take this photo. I shot this at f4.8, which is really wide for a photo like this. Normally, I would shoot at a much smaller aperture to get more of the flower in focus, but I didn't have that luxury here because there was so little light. It looks bright. I think I did brighten it a little bit in Lightroom, so brighten it in post. But honestly, this type of photo before the sun is up, I've never thought about doing it before. And I want to try it again. I feel like I've got bitten by the bug. The problem is the time that the sun is at this spot in the sky. It varies throughout the year. Well, my work time doesn't vary throughout the year. I got to be at the office at the same time of day, regardless. But it's something I want to experiment with more, either in the spring, in the fall, when things line up, or just deliberately get up early and take photos before the sun rises. I encourage you to give it a shot. Let me know if you do. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of that experience and maybe even the photos you're able to get.